Hi guys, welcome to Masbatenia-Texas lovers. So the reason for this video is I kind of got fired up at my honey's request. She shared a link to YouTube to a show that she really loves. It's called, I may not be pronouncing it right, it's called Raphael Tuflo or something like that. Rafi Tuflo in Action, I guess is the proper pronunciation. And the subject of that show was a 71-year-old Canadian falling in love with a girl, very much younger girl there in the Philippines, probably 25, 30 years younger than him, maybe even more. And so they were both guests on the show. I think it came in two parts. The first part, they just had the girl on the phone, the girlfriend, and they had the old man sitting there, and then they had the mother. And basically, the situation with those two is he had met her in the Philippines before. They were planning to get married. And the one thing that struck me at first, they were talking about when he first met her, that they went to meet at a hotel somewhere. And she just took off and left him there in the hotel and told him she was going somewhere. And there were several incidences where she was either gone for hours or even overnight. Okay, so I feel sorry for the guy. He was crying. No, I don't want to jump to the end real quick, but nevertheless, he was losing her. She's a complete liar. But some warning bells kind of rang in my head for this guy, right? I'm a very blunt person. If someone is doing something stupid, I'm not going to sit there and coddle them and hug them. This guy goes to a hotel with her, probably the first meeting, I don't know. And she's avoiding him at all contact with him. No hugs, no nothing. Just being very cold. Hello, dude. And then she says, oh, I got to go somewhere. And then she's gone overnight for no contact with him. He's just sitting there like some kind of, I won't say the word, but just sitting in a hotel like some kind of sucker, I'll say the word, waiting for her all night. I don't know if they were texting or whatever, but hello, dude, there's something wrong. If that was me, I would have deleted her off of Facebook, blocked her, and found a different hotel room and took my happy ass back to Canada. Now, I'm saying this because I know the whole story. I know somebody's going to say, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But I'm thinking that they were in some kind of contact and she was making excuses. I can't get back there, blah, blah, blah. But you don't have some dude coming down to see you and he's flying on a plane 8,000 to 10,000 miles, depending on the route. And you tell the dude, hey, I got to go somewhere. And you leave that guy sitting in the hotel room when he specifically came to see you. And he's sitting there like a innocent child, a naive child waiting for her. So nevertheless, she came back the next morning and this guy took her excuses. I guess he was lonely or whatever. Took her excuses and they patched up everything. The relationship continued. Now, that show is in the Philippine language, so I didn't understand everything that was going on the Rafi Tuflo show, but I hear them talking. I see the old man crying. I heard the girl on the phone making excuse after excuse. Even her own mother was against her, trying to get her to get back with this guy and marry him. He's sitting there crying. But there's some more backdrop to the story, and that is she's asking him for gifts, send jewelry, send this, send that. And this guy kept playing along with it. They're planning to get married. She's breaks contact him for days. I don't know the story. Making excuses, whatever. And I'm gonna come right out and say, because I'm blunt, duh, she had a boyfriend, and then she was just taking this guy's money, and he's paying her bills, and sending money to her in the blind when she's off of Facebook, out of contact, phone unreachable for days. And this guy is believing that she wants to marry him and come to Canada. And all she was doing was stringing him along with the false hope of marriage. And this is very common. You get the really older guys. I'm 55, but let's put it this way. You're never going to find me that desperate. And this is not talking about my honey. This is no comparison to my situation. This never happened in mine. But I've talked, before talking to my honey, I did talk to other Filipinas. And I encountered some of that early on. I never sent money, but I saw them making excuses like, can you send me money? I have a sick child and stuff like that. I'm going to go through kind of like a list of things to watch for, that guys should watch for, and they need to learn to cut things early on. But getting back to this guy and then back to that show, they had two parts to it. The second part, the girl shows up on the show crying continuously, making excuses. Again, I couldn't understand everything. The guest of the show was very hard on her. He was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I think the guest of the show was pretty much calling her a liar. Old man sitting there crying, saying, do you want to go to Canada with me? My blood is boiling because I'm thinking, dude, she is a gold digger. She's a liar. And he's still crying. And I know there's people on here that are going to say, hey, dude, say to me, Scott, chill out. He's in love. He's lonely. Sorry, guys. But this guy, in my opinion, had the brain of an eggplant, because he's still sitting there and she clearly dissed him. And basically the show ended with, he asked her one more time, do you want to go to Canada with me? And she said no. And they pretty much were talking at the end of the show. She gave the guy a big hug. And he's still crying. The mother apologized to the man. Mother's a very good person. Apologized, saying, I'm sorry that my daughter did this to you. But I'm going to tell you this, that story's probably played off a couple 100,000 times, not just in the Philippines, but it's happened here in America. Older guy looking for younger girl. And especially, no insult intended against Philippines or third world countries. It's going to happen a lot in third world countries, because people are very desperate for money. And there are some people that have no morality at all. And I will say this to any lady, and maybe men have done it too. I'm going to say this. If you're stringing somebody along, an older person, which are particularly vulnerable because they're lonely, if you're stringing them along, telling them you love them, and getting money, and you got other plans other than being with that man, you are lower than a gold digger. You are a pond scum. And there will be a harsh judgment from our Lord Jesus Christ upon you. Yes, I'm judging. So I feel sorry for that man. He was in love with her, but I'm also angry to him because he was not senile. He didn't have Alzheimer's. He had his full mind capabilities behind him. He put himself through this. He gave her chance after chance. And in my opinion, in the hotel room, when she left him overnight, and it happened a couple different times. They stayed in the hotel a few days. She did this to him several days in a row. Again, I would be in a cab, checked out of the hotel, and on my way back to my own country, and I would be telling everybody about that girl, and maybe find someone a little closer to my own age, but I don't know. Again, I'm not dissing anybody. So, let me do this. I'm going to kind of go through what I would say are the warning signs of a gold digger. Not all of them are after money. You still have some Filipina and girls around the world that are looking for support. But I'm going to tell you what some of the warning signs might be. Some of the things I encountered early before I talked to my honey. And the number one thing to watch for is girls that get on there and they already have boyfriends or husbands. And there's some telltale signs you can tell. And one of those signs, the best signs is availability to chat. Yes, they have children. Yes, they got to be off there for a few hours. I'm not trying to tell guys, oh, if your lady is off a chat for 3 hours, is she cheating on you? But if you start getting to half a day, and again, there are some caveats to that. If they're in the province, no signal, things happen. But if you see a pattern where your girlfriend is gone overnight, or she's saying to you, oh, I'm borrowing a phone, and I'll be back on Monday. this is something. If they're telling you they got to be gone for days, you need to be careful for your own situation. I'm talking to other foreigners, people in my situation. You might lose a girlfriend that did not have bad intentions, but it's better to do that than find yourself getting into a relationship where you're sending money and it turns out this lady has a boyfriend, or she's just plain not interested in you, or she's got a husband. So telltale signs is long gaps away from not being able to chat you, not being able to video chat. I would say another one is if she's telling you she can't chat you video and she has signal. And the Philippines has bad signal in a lot of areas, but you can tell if your messages are getting delivered instantly, if they're able to receive pictures really fast, if they're telling you they're watching YouTube and they're telling you they can't video chat you, you might want to say goodbye because there's something they're not wanting you to see. They might be a different person. That's warning number one. I already gave you the warning about being gone from chat. Warning number 3 would be asking for money early in the relationship. And I know this is going to piss some people off. Do not send money until you meet that girl. If she is not willing to wait until you meet, then you might have a problem. So you be nice about it. You try to be courteous about it. You just say, hey, I'm not sending money until we meet in person. And you're going to want to meet her family. I would say another warning sign would be is how she treats you around her family. I'm talking about specifically if she has a boyfriend or a husband. If you got a girl that is telling you, hey, don't hug me in front of my family, don't kiss me in front of my family, I'm shy, she might be hiding a husband or a boyfriend. If she's afraid to post about you on her Facebook, and I'm talking about after you've been in a relationship for a while, if she's afraid to come out in public acknowledging your existence, showing pictures of you together, posting about you on her wall, that's going to be a warning sign that either she's not interested in you, just wanting money, or she's hiding boyfriend or husband. I'm trying to think some other things that might come to mind. And this is another thing. There's going to be disagreement on this. This is just my experience. Hidden friend list on Facebook. If she's not letting you see who her friends are, if you see custom friends or custom screening on Facebook where she's got a lot of custom lists where this person can see this person can see that. But I'd say if she's hiding friend lists on Facebook where you can't see who she's talking to, and if you can see who she's talking to, and if you look on her Facebook and you see a whole boatload of foreigners, and I mean dozens or hundreds of them, you might want to think twice about that girl. Again, there might be exceptions, but then remember, exceptions are not the rule. You've got to remember that us foreigners, we're at a huge disadvantage, right? For the most part, we're thousands of miles away. We're not there. We can't, and I'm going to use the word verify. You can't verify what's going on. But after a while, you're chatting with the girl, you're going to get a general impression. And you're going to get, if she's warm and willing to do video calls with you, she's very open, telling you what's going on. But if she's asking for money, asking for gold chains and fancy phones and gifts, and someone that genuinely loves you is not going to ask you for expensive phones, TVs, and stuff like that. If you're in a relationship and sometimes you're going to pay for her expenses, then those things become a necessity for TVs, things like that. Not till you've met the family, you become comfortable with the girl, you've been there a couple times, she's willing to publicly shout to the world that she loves you or she's involved with you, posting it on Facebook, Instagram. But I like to backtrack a lot. I like to make sure I reiterate. If this person is afraid to show you publicly to everybody, she's definitely hiding another relationship. So just be watching out for these things, guys. And don't send money early in the relationship. Meet first. If you see something suspicious, I don't care if you're 80 years old and you haven't had a girlfriend in 10 years, don't let desperation drive you just because you want companionship. Because I'm going to tell you this, 95% of the girls in Philippines and other parts of the world are decent, hardworking, especially Philippines, girls that are the best wives, the best girlfriends, most loyal, most attentive, but you do have that small percentage out there that are evil monsters. They're out to take your money. And there are some old men, like the one on the Rafi Tufo show. He walked into the situation. He might as well walked out in front of a car into traffic. He knew this girl was bullshit, but he let his time invested in a relationship, and he let his desperation and loneliness take over when he should have very early on cut that relationship. So I'm saying to you guys, you're chatting with a girl, she's asking for money, she's hiding you from her people, she's telling you don't hug me, don't kiss me, she doesn't want you to meet her family, she's gone from IMO or whatever chat program you're using, she's gone for days, comes back with weak excuses. Guys, just get out. For every one bad one, there's 100 that are honest. And and I understand their motivation. They want to get out of the country. It's poor, and they want to give you all their love. And the best thing to do, guys, is the ones that are giving you early warning signs, no matter how guapa, maganda they are, block them, cut them, and move on. So that's my rant for today. And thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Please remember to subscribe, to like this video, and set the reminders so when we post new videos, you'll get notified. Peace out, guys.